Colts Nation, and what is up, No Horsing family? Welcome back to another episode of the No Horsing Around podcast. As always, I am one of two dudes talking Colts. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Burton, and as always, we are always powered by WagerWire. WagerWire is a revolutionary sports betting app that's got some amazing features, you guys. You can trade and bet on futures, get in and out of them. Maybe you made the mistake like I did, thinking the Colts were going to win the division. You could have got out of that. You can bet on the lines all the way up to the game starting. And then my personal favorite, you can get out of parlays before they bust. That's amazing. Maybe you have a massive 16 parlay and you've hit on 4 of them and you're just going to go, I want out because I'm going to make good money. WagerWire allows that. Make sure you go follow them on Twitter at WagerWire. And make sure you go over to the website, wagerwire.com. It's going to ask you to drop your email address in. You do that, you get put on the list so you don't miss this app when it does come out very, very soon. So we're going to continue our coaching candidates reviews. Kind of like I joked, I never would have thought that I would be doing 14 videos. I kind of thought I might be doing like 7. So it's a little bit more than what I thought, obviously. But we're going to continue with kind of the second surprise one that we've seen, and that's Rich Bisaccia, the current special teams coordinator under Matt LaFleur in Green Bay. So what's a little bit of his history, right? He's coached for a long time. He's the oldest candidate the Colts have interviewed at 62. He's coached under John Gruden in Tampa. He's coached under Jason Garrett in Dallas. He's coached under Matt LaFleur in Green Bay. He coached under Gruden in Vegas again. He's coached under Norv Turner with the Chargers. He's kind of been all over the place. He even been in college. He coached under Gus Malzahn over at Auburn for a little while. Most people are going to know him from his stint last year with the Raiders. He took over a Raiders team in disarray. John Gruden had been fired for racist emails. Henry Ruggs killed a person driving drunk in Vegas and went to jail. All that happened, and he came in and took over, and he went 7-5. A lot of people are like, well, interim coaches come in disarray, right? Jeff Saturday, look, he came into a kind of, like a better word, a shit show. Man, that's nothing compared to what the Raiders came into, and Rich Bisaccia went 7-5 and took them to the playoffs. Really was advocated for by a lot of his players. Derek Carr wanted him heavily. They chose not to hire him. They chose to go get Josh McDaniels, who is an utter putrid head coach, in my opinion, and that was probably a mistake on their part. So what do we think of this? I think this is due diligence. I think this is they're interviewing a seasoned coach. Do I think he is one of the top 5 candidates for the job? Probably not. Top 10? Maybe. Do I think he gets a second interview? Probably not. I think we were all surprised to see it come across yesterday because we all expected Brian Callahan from the Cincinnati Bengals to give the interview and Dan Quinn. And they did. But they wedged in Rich Bisaccia too. They did 3 interviews yesterday. So, I was surprised. I don't see it leading to a head coaching job. But the fun fact for me would be, could this be due diligence on potentially a staff member if they think Bubba's leaving? Because guess what, you guys? He does have a crossover. When Gruden got fired in Tampa, Raheem Morris took over. Raheem Morris retained Rich Bisaccia as his special teams coordinator. So there's a connection there. I'm not saying it's like this weird backdoor, but I think that's that way with a lot of the candidates. I think there's several that they interviewed who that could be the case. I love Ejiro Evero, but he could be out of a job in a week when they hire Sean Payton or Dan Quinn. They may not want to retain him, and he's looking for a DC job potentially, right? I think that's that way with a lot of them. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is a good interview? Are you one of the rare few who might say, that's my number one candidate? Or do you think it's just due diligence? Because the more the merrier at this point. You've requested to interview 14 people. You've interviewed, I think, 11 with Mike Kafka, Wink Martindale, and D'Amico Ryans left to interview. We know that the Giant boys are interviewing tomorrow after their game. And we believe there's a chance D'Amico could interview today, maybe Monday if that's followed through on. So 14, and I've said this, I think the more you interview, the more it is hard for Irsay to look everyone with a straight face and say, Jeff Saturday's better than these 13 other candidates that we interviewed. Highly sought after. So what do you all think? Like, share, subscribe, comment, all those great things. Make sure you drop your comments. I'm excited. And as always, you guys, I love you. I know Zach loves you. I'm out. Go Colts. Talk to you next time.